is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Friday, May 1st, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
We are not in the clear yet.
Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett has extended the stay-at-home order for residents in Marion County. Working for you, we're finding out how that aligns with Governor Holcomb's plan to reopen our state's economy.
We want to make sure that we are equipped to be as nimble as possible because we don't know what the future looks like in terms of this health crisis.
Indianapolis Public Schools is making a major investment to help students with e-learning. This morning, a look at the technology they're providing.
But yes, we're up almost 5 times what we were this time last year.
A Hancock County farmer is seeing a big boom in business as more people shift to shopping local and online.
And it is 6 o'clock. I want to thank you for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey, and we continue practicing our social distancing. Todd Clausen reporting from home for us, as well as my colleague, Rafael Sanchez, down in Johnson County. Rafael, we have made it through the longest April ever, I think, and it's finally the 1st of May.
That's right. The 1st of May, we are now entering our 3rd month of social distancing. A big day here in our state as we await for the governor to announce what he's going to do about the stay-at-home order, as well as today, people longing for a sense of normalcy. Take a look. They're waiting in lines for some donuts. And so we'll see what happens with that today. Of course, these are the same kinds of lines that we see when people want an autograph from Todd Clausen, especially when the weather is awesome. So no donuts today for Todd Clausen. Of course, with the forecast. But Todd, you can work something out maybe this summer.
You know, yesterday there were no autographs, there were no thank yous, there were just, some choice words probably for the forecast. But today, it's much, much better across the area. It's starting off a little chilly this morning, so if you do have to walk out the door, you're walking out the cool temperatures. But here's the view from downtown off towards the east. So in this easterly direction, you do notice a little bit of cloud cover. That will be moving out. But here in the downtown area points to the west, the skies have already cleared. And now that sun is coming up over the horizon, we will have plenty of sunshine to start the day. 38 in Tipton as well as Peru, 44 in Bloomington as well as Connorsville. Greenfield is at 42 degrees. And you can see that cloud cover I mentioned. It extends from Fort Wayne down through the Anderson area to Rushville and then down towards Madison, Indiana. And that is just about it. So enjoy the sunshine today. It's really a great day. We don't have the wind out there like we did yesterday at all. It's a calm day for us with 57 your noontime temperature. And Lauren, our high temperatures today are going to be topping off in the mid to upper 60s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic as you're heading out to start your Friday, maybe heading to work early this morning. Here's I-465 in West Washington Street. You can see all the headlights out that way. Traffic's picking up both northbound and southbound. No major delays to slow you down, and that is great news for your commute.
Indianapolis, I am asking for your bravery, your patience, and your serious commitment, as you have shown over these last couple of months. Your continued serious commitment to slowing the spread of the virus over these next 2 weeks.
That the mayor of Indianapolis, who is extending the stay-at-home order for residents in Marion County. The order now in effect all the way through May the 15th. The Indy decision comes as we all await to see what the governor decides to do with the statewide stay-at-home order. We'll get more details on that later this afternoon. But here is the Indianapolis plan as we know it right now. It will require that all Marion County residents wear face masks when out in public. It also means current restrictions on all non-essential businesses will stay in place until May the 15th. Mayor Hogsett says that this is necessary because the city and county are home to so many large attractions. Plus, a dense population has contributed to the county having the most cases of COVID-19. Now, the governor is already supporting the mayor's decision.
I fully support Mayor Hogsett. I've said before, local jurisdictions can always be stricter than what we have said. This has been the case, not just once, in the state of Indiana. And we'll seek to...
This afternoon at 2:30, we will get many more details on the governor's plan moving forward in reopening the economy and possibly relaxing the stay-at-home restrictions here in our state. But for now, let's take a quick snapshot on what's happening right here in Marion County, which really holds the state's highest population. Here are the numbers for COVID-19. 238 more positive cases were reported Thursday for a total of 5,530. Nearly 25,000 residents have been tested for COVID-19, and 328 residents have died. That's about 1/3 of the more than 1,000 Hoosiers killed by COVID-19 statewide.
Raphael, a young doctor who beat COVID-19, is now helping patients at a VA hospital in Indiana, and he's sharing his story to help others. 27-year-old Dr. David Vega is what many would consider the picture of perfect health. Then last month, he began experiencing an unrelated fever, and chills were lasting up to 7 days, and he ended up losing 10 pounds. Eventually, he was able to fight off the virus. Dr. Vega says at this point, he doesn't believe it's safe to ease up on current restrictions.
At this point in time, we just have to be very cautious about what we do. If you're going to go out in public, please wear a mask. Try to limit, going outside as much as possible, and just be smart. I think it's important to continue to social distance from other people.
Well, as for now, he caught the virus, and Dr. Vega will probably never know. He did spend 2 months working in Africa, and then he flew back to the United States. So he came in contact with people through the airports and those long flights. He then spent a week in South Florida seeing his family and friends before coming back here to Indianapolis, and that's when he started experiencing those symptoms.
The time now is 6:06. This pandemic is forcing IPS to spend millions of dollars more on computers to help kids with e-learning. The fear is that this all could happen again, and the state's largest school system says it will be ready for its computers challenge. These are among the thousands of computers IPS distributed several weeks ago. But the district never had enough to provide to every student in its schools. That will be a thing of the past in the fall. 14,000 new Chromebooks will be ready in the fall for 3rd through 12th graders. On top of that, 7,000 new iPads will be passed out to kids in kindergarten through 2nd grade.
So we need to be able to pivot quickly into a more virtual learning environment if and when there are cases that call for us to be at home and be apart again.
Academics planned for the classroom for the months of March and April were taught online or with paper packets. The superintendent says she's impressed with her teachers' creativity, which she sees as their boss, but also as a mother with 3 of her own children in IPS schools.
Yeah, my own daughter, her teacher is giving her feedback, recording herself talking, giving my daughter feedback on her work. And I think just that personal connection of hearing your teacher's voice and talking about the work that you're doing, for me was really just awesome to see how that relationship is still being cultivated. And so again, I think it's helping all of us really think about how do you stay focused on building relationship and building connection, even when we're apart from one another.
So overall, IPS is investing some $12 million in its digital situation. So let's break down those dollars. It's spending $9 million on all those new computers and iPads. It's spending an extra $3 million on hotspots to provide services, wireless connections to its families. In all, $12 million in this digital space. Lauren?
Raphael, the governor, is expected to announce plans at the beginning stages of reopening the state later today. And as businesses start to rebound, a Hancock County farmer is hoping that folks will continue to shop local. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live from Greenfield this morning with more on what's happening out there at Tyner Ponds. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lauren. So here at Tyner Pond Farms, their sales are up 5 times right now than what they were at this time last year. And owner Chris Baggett says he thinks it's because people are starting to buy into shopping local and shopping online. With more than 600 animals on the farm, Tyner Pond can usually keep up with their normal demand. But now with large meat productions closing temporarily and the grocery stores looking bare, Chris Baggett says they are having to partner with other local farmers just to keep their shelves full.
Right now, the demand is more than we can handle by ourselves, and we've built a network over time with like-minded farmers. You know, pasture-raised, no antibiotics, no drugs of any kind, animals raised outdoors.
Now, Baggett says they only take animals into process once a week, so they might not always have the cut of meat you're looking for. He suggests either being patient or trying a new cut of meat you may not be familiar with. So right now, the storefront here in Greenfield, it is closed, but they are still doing deliveries daily, and they are doing those for free. They tell me that they used to do just one big delivery route each day. Now they're having to do multiple routes every single day. And of course, their deliveries are always contactless. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
I think all churches are a little fearful. If you take money from the government, what does that really mean?
Some churches in central Indiana are applying for federal funding to help them stay afloat as the coronavirus pandemic continues. Straight ahead, we're looking into the unprecedented and historical move that some say is a break from the separation of church and state. Todd.
And Lauren, we're starting off the month of May with quiet weather across central Indiana. The skies have cleared overnight, and we're going to feature quite a bit of sunshine throughout the morning hours with temperatures warming into the 40s by 10 a.m. We're on our way close to 70 later on this afternoon. We'll talk all about it coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast.
And FloorIsYourHome.com. That's who.
It is 6:13. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Raphael, we know the coronavirus pandemic has changed lives in so many profound ways. That includes houses of worship. So the rebound is RTV6's commitment to make sure that systems are in place to help working people get back on their feet.
Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny has found that some local churches are applying for federal funding, which some say is an unprecedented move away from the separation of church and state.
The First Amendment lays out the Establishment Clause, separation of church and state. Most churches in Indiana do not pay most taxes, including property taxes, and many want to operate away from the prying eyes of government. But these are unique times. At a time when many Hoosiers need hope, churches are being forced to halt in-person services and go totally online. New Era Church on Indy's west side has nearly 2,000 members and a staff of 20 people. Pastor Clarence Moore says donations have taken a hit.
But overall, our offerings are down right at about 10%. And our capital giving is down about 15%.
So New Era Church reached out to the federal government for help. They applied for a loan under the Small Business Administration's Paycheck Protection Program. Loans churches and other nonprofits won't have to pay back as long as they're used for things like maintaining payroll, mortgage, and utilities. To Pastor Moore's surprise, the SBA approved New Era Church for a loan.
They give you 2.5 months worth of salary to keep your people on the team. And these funds that we got are going to kind of help us get through the summer if our online giving doesn't fall off too much in that process. So we were glad to get those funds. They were critical.
The SBA would not tell Call 6 Investigates how many churches in Indiana have applied for or been approved, saying the priority right now is on processing loans to get funds into folks' hands. We checked around and found several local churches who have applied and are still waiting, like Barnes United Methodist Church.
We have not heard back from the bank yet where we applied, and we're hoping to hear back soon. But I do think it's critical because I don't expect to have members back in the church at least until June, and it could be longer than that. And we just don't know whether the online giving and is going to continue at the level.
Half a dozen national groups like the Interfaith Alliance sent this letter to SBA saying taxpayer funds may not be used to support religious activities and urging the feds to create best practices for administering the funds.
I think this is an unprecedented change. This is a program administered by a federal government agency that should be attentive to church-state separation issues, that has an obligation to abide by the First Amendment including the Establishment Clause and how they administer programs funded with our tax dollars.
The Interfaith Alliance urges congregations to have conversations about separation of church and state and whether to accept federal funds. Both Pastors Moore and Harrison say they had those discussions.
There was some trepidation from some of our leaders about whether or not we should take these funds.
Because I think all churches are a little fearful if you take money from the government. What does that really mean? And will government infringe upon, the beliefs and the practices of the church?
Ultimately, churches we talk with say accepting federal money will allow them to continue paying employees, provide valuable services to the community, and reopen their doors when it's safe to do so. Reporting in Indianapolis, Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Kara, thank you. And the SBA has already approved more than 35,000 Paycheck Protection Program loans here in the state of Indiana. But again, as Kara said, the SBA is not saying how many of those funds are going to churches. Raphael?
The time now is 6:18, and the CDC has issued some new guidelines on how to safely reopen parts of the U.S. economy. And here are those details. The draft document includes specific guidance for schools, businesses, churches, and much more. For schools, the CDC recommends keeping children in the same classroom all day and spacing out seating. Faith-based organizations are encouraged to hold virtual or outdoor services when possible, and employers are encouraged to allow high-risk employees to work remotely. The time now, ready for your forecast. Todd, the forecast will be perfect for you and I to meet in Southport 6 feet apart to get a Long's donut. I'm buying.
All right, I'll be there. Just tell me the time. Just send me a text, and I'll meet you there in the parking lot. That sounds pretty good right about now, and the sun will be shining when we make that encounter, or if you're walking out your door for a walk here in the neighborhood. It's a little chilly this morning. That is the good news, or the bad news. The good news is, as you see here to the north, we have sunny skies, and with that sunshine, we are going to warm very quickly throughout the course of the morning hours and into the afternoon. Still in the 30s in Kokomo, up to 40 degrees now in Indianapolis, 44 in Bloomington. You can see the clouds on the eastern side of the state, and that is just about it. Otherwise, those clouds will start to move out, and we'll all enjoy sunny skies here throughout the course of the afternoon hours, and that's going to carry over into the first half of our weekend as well. So as we work our way throughout the day today, the temperatures should be into the mid-50s by the noon hour and mid-60s by afternoon, with temperatures that will be right around 66 degrees at 6 p.m., and that is going to be very close to our average high this time of year, which is 68 degrees. So it's a sunny and seasonable day. You may want to fire up the grill this evening. Definitely didn't do it yesterday, or couldn't on the patio yesterday with the chilly temperatures and the wind. Today, it's a much better evening for us with temperatures that will be in the mid-60s. Going forward in this forecast, tomorrow's a great day for us. Lots of sunshine, temperatures climbing up to close to 80 degrees for our Saturday. Take advantage. The one thing you will have to contend with tomorrow is a little bit of the wind. It's out of the south, so that's one of the reasons why we'll get close to 80 degrees. But that southerly wind direction is going to result in some pretty breezy conditions. Wind gusts could be up to about 20 miles per hour throughout the day tomorrow. I know that's being very nitpicky, but just want to let you know that you will have to contend with that wind throughout the day tomorrow. Now, tomorrow evening, a front will approach, and this front is eventually going to bring some rainfall into the area. In some areas, Sunday morning could see some heavy rainfall. I wouldn't focus so much on the placement of that rain right now, because I'm not sold that it's going to be coming right through the metro area. But I do think somewhere across central Indiana, as this front comes through on Sunday, we'll get into some decent rainfall. The rain moves out throughout the morning hours, and then once we get to the afternoon, that's when we'll get the sunshine back into the forecast. So you just have to be a little bit patient on Sunday. The whole day is not a washout. It gets better as the day goes on, and even behind that front, temperatures aren't going to be all that much colder. Yes, we'll go from 80 to 70, but 70 with sunshine in the afternoon on Sunday, and then again on Monday. Not bad for this time of year. It's above normal. Another front comes through on Tuesday with another round of showers and storms. Behind that front, it is a little bit cooler, and that puts us slightly below normal for Wednesday and Thursday. But the good news is both of those days will feature plenty of sunshine.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look right now at traffic as you're heading into the downtown area. I-65 at West Street and MLK. No crashes or delays here to slow you down. Don't forget I-70 is closed at the downtown area at the north split over to the east side. The time right now is 6:22 on your Friday. We'll be right back. We're working together, working for you. Welcome back. It is 6:24. Raphael, it's time to talk about what is trending at 6.
So, Lauren, when you work at home, as I have been now for the past 2 months, of course, you can get food anytime. So I have food on the mind at this moment, and this is what's trending at 6. Chick-fil-A is making it much easier to enjoy their meals at home. The fast food chain has now meal kits that you can buy and reheat. The chicken parmesan meal kit includes 2 breaded fillets, the marinara sauce, cheese, and a side of creamy garlic and lemon pasta. I'm done. Okay, yes. They're also offering family meal deals, which includes 30-count chicken nuggets and gallons of their sweet tea. I would love to have their lemonade recipe. I know it's just lemonade,
oh, it's so good,
but there's something about that lemonade. I want that recipe.
Yeah, well, if the Greenwood Chick-fil-A is doing this, I am down for that. 2 New York women are going viral for their unique twist on coffee dates. They used to meet for coffee and conversation daily, but when the coronavirus hit, of course, that changed. The women started having their coffee dates from their windows at their respective homes while dressing up in costume. Well, they only use props and makeup they already have on hand to create these incredible costumes. The moms say they'll keep pushing their creativity until they run out of supplies or until the quarantine is lifted. They have quite the collection of costumes, I would say, at their house then.
Look at those hairstyles and costumes. Hey.
Yeah.
Here's something else that's awesome, a snapshot of a hometown hero right here in central Indiana. Good morning to Lacey Gildia, who is a nurse at St. Francis Hospital. She shares her passion and compassion for helping others every single day while on the job. We want to thank all those who share their personal and professional best during this moment in our history. It's now time to drop the green flag on this first day of May with our Todd Clausen, who's looking at a fantastic weekend forecast, and he is in the driver's seat. Good morning, TK.
Yeah, we ended April on the chilly side, Raphael, with those clouds. And as you mentioned, yeah, we're entering the month of May. Right on cue here, waving that flag and heading into turn 1 there at IMS with sunshine and temperatures. That'll warm very quickly here throughout the course of the day today. And then as we come across the backstretch, across the yard of bricks here today on the forecast, we are looking at highs anywhere from 65 to 70 degrees. It's a great way to kick off the month of May, at least weather-wise here across central Indiana, with these seasonable temperatures and the sunshine. You mentioned the weekend. Tomorrow's close to 80 degrees. We'll talk about that and also some small rain chances as we head into the morning hours on Sunday coming up in the next half hour.
Todd, thank you. Well, more than 20 million Americans have been laid off as a result of the COVID-19 shutdown. And if you don't have unemployment benefits yet, you may want to know about some companies that are still hiring out there. Consumer reporter John Matarese tells us where the jobs are so you don't waste your money.
Are you out of work or coping with reduced hours and lower pay? Well, if so, we're happy to report that many companies desperately need workers right now. The air is thick with the smell of wood-smoked brisket and pork barbecue here at We Smokin'. Among those in line, Kimberly Finn, out of work and low on cash.
I've been laid off, so it's very tight.
Sarah Meadows is also out of work, a daycare worker with few prospects until the crisis passes.
Schools out and daycares are closed.
So you can't even look for work now.
Right.
But while it may be hard to believe, some companies are desperate for workers. Have you noticed all the Amazon vans? Amazon needs thousands of workers to sort and deliver items at local warehouses, where Jason Wheeler is a site leader.
My site alone have hired over 100 Amazonians and plan to hire more in the coming weeks.
Think about it. Everything from medical supplies to auto parts to food especially still needs to be moved during a pandemic. And that's why many of these companies are still hiring. Companies needing help right now? Amazon hiring 150,000 nationwide. Walmart hiring 100,000. And grocery stores.
And we'll put you to work in 48 hours.
Then there's Instacart and Shipt to deliver all those groceries, restaurant delivery services like Uber Eats and DoorDash, and pizza chains like Domino's and Papa John's, home improvement stores, Home Depot and Lowe's, tobacco, CBD and vape shops, dollar stores, cable TV companies. Gun shops and rifle ranges as people train to protect themselves. Pet shops as people adopt new dogs and kittens. And of course, trucking firms. Hopefully, most of these layoffs are just temporary, but if not, it's nice to know that some companies are still hiring, so you don't waste your money. I'm John Batteries. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Friday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. A woman is in the hospital after a shooting on the east side. Police say it happened just after 10 o'clock last night on Jefferson Avenue near East St. Clair Street. That woman is in serious condition. No arrests have been made.
More local news. Prosecutors say a dispute over a dog and a hold placed on mail led to the shooting death of a mail carrier on the east side of Indianapolis. Court documents show that Tony Cushenberry Mays told police that he shot Angela Summers on Monday after she sprayed him with mace during a confrontation. The Postal Service says the man's mail was being held after several complaints were made about the dog at his home.
Governor Holcomb has ordered flags to fly at half-staff today to honor 2 prison officers who died from COVID-19. One of the guards worked at the Indiana Women's Prison on the west side of Indianapolis. The other worked at the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility in Carlisle, south of Terre Haute. At least 7 inmates have also died from the coronavirus so far.
We thank those officers for their service. And more U.S. airlines are now requiring passengers to wear face masks. United, Delta, and American all announced the change on Thursday. The new policy starts May the 4th for United and Delta and May the 11th for American Airlines. United says it will provide free masks to its passengers. JetBlue and Frontier Airlines have already made similar policy changes.
And here at 6:30, I want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey, Todd Clausen, and Rafael Sanchez reporting from home. Rafael, good morning to you in Johnson County.
So I'm just taking a peek outside of the living room window where I see that the sun is rising, which is a good sign. Todd Clausen, you have an amazing forecast. I know that we should enjoy Friday, but I'm looking ahead to Saturday and Sunday already.
Yeah, you know, tomorrow close to 80 degrees. You can't beat that. But today we'll get into the upper 60s, right around 70 degrees with sunshine. That is the good news. And as you walk out the door this morning, you are walking out to temperatures that are a little chilly. I know it's cold this morning. You probably have heard the furnace kick on in your house here this morning. But the good news is with a lot of sunshine today, we will see our temperatures warm very, very quickly. We're sitting right around that 40-degree mark right now. We'll be up to about 43 degrees at 8 a.m. And after we get past 8 a.m. and the sun gets higher up in the sky, that's when the real warmth will start to kick in. Now, there's a little bit of lingering cloud cover for those of you on the far eastern side of the state, but that will be moving out pretty quickly here this morning, and we'll all get into sunshine, and we'll all get temperatures pretty close to our average high for this time of year. We'll be anywhere from about 65 to 70 degrees later on today. So enjoy today. Rafael mentioned the weekend, and it's going to be really nice on Saturday. More on that coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look at traffic up on the north side. No issues to slow you down here at 465 and Ditch Road. We do want to make you aware of a bridge closure, though. The Ditch Road Bridge over 465 scheduled to already be closed this morning. That closure will last until 6 p.m. tonight and also Saturday and Sunday. We were supposed to have it closed for some asphalt work and sidewalk work the last 2 days, but due to the wet weather and the wet roads out there, they had to push that back to today, Saturday, and Sunday. Keep that in mind if it's part of your commute. Well, a major expansion of COVID-19 testing here in Indianapolis and Marion County is now underway. It's all part of the city's effort to boost testing in communities of color, which are more likely to be impacted by this virus. A free testing site opened on Thursday at Eastern Star Church. That's on the city's east side near 30th Street and Arlington Avenue. The testing program is part of a push to address racial disparities in the number of people who are getting sick and dying from the coronavirus.
This is absolutely vital to get a handle on the pandemic that we have in the great city of Indianapolis.
Well, you are encouraged to register and get tested by going to marionhealth.org/IndyCovid. You can complete an online screening there. As of now, you must be showing symptoms of COVID-19 or have been exposed to someone with the virus before you can get a test. Also this week, the state announcing that 50 testing sites across Indiana will open over the next 2 weeks.
The time now is 6:33. The big question on this Friday is, what will he say? That's as Indiana's stay-at-home order is set to expire at midnight. The governor has said he will provide some directives both to the public and businesses later this afternoon, with many more details on the stay-at-home order and how we'll move forward. It is unclear if the statewide order will be extended, lifted, or partially lifted. On Thursday, Mayor Joe Hogsett of Indianapolis extended Marion County's stay-at-home directive for another 2 weeks. That's at least through May the 15th. We will learn more during the governor's daily briefing this afternoon. You can, of course, watch it live right here at 2:30 on RTV6 as well as theindychannel.com.
Well, it is 6:34, and we may have a bit of a clue about what Governor Holcomb plans to do from Simon Malls. The largest operator of malls in the country now says it will not open its 3 malls in Indianapolis tomorrow as they had originally planned. But Simon says their other Indiana malls will open this coming Monday, May 4th. The company's chief administrative officer says Simon was left with no choice but to leave Circle Center Mall, Castleton Square, and Keystone at the Crossing closed due to the city's extension. Their announcement came hours after Marion County's top health official said she was, quote, very concerned with Simon's plans to reopen their malls. The malls opening on Monday include Greenwood Park Mall and the Hamilton Town Center in Noblesville.
We know that many businesses have been struggling during this pandemic, but one business in particular has seen a boom over the past 2 months, and that's because many grocery stores have been unable to keep fresh meat on their store shelves, in their refrigerators. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning from Hancock County with Tyner Food Pond Farms, where they've been able to fill a critical need. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Raphael. So here at Tyner Pond Farms, they have had consistent business for the last 10 years. Loyal customers, the occasional new neighbor dropping in. But they say now that those big meat productions are closed, more folks are looking for locally sourced meat.
We raise the animals, we process the animals, and we sell direct to the consumer.
At Tyner Pond Farm, the supply can't keep up with the demand.
Yes, we're up almost 5 times what we were this time last year.
Chris Baggett owns the farm and says the current pandemic has had a positive impact on business.
It's really accelerated the move for people to buy online. We deliver for free, and that business has just exploded.
It's grown so much that they are now partnering with other farms so they can fulfill orders and help other farmers in the process.
And a lot of farmers are a little bit in a jam. For example, one of our partners is Gunthrop Farms. They're a great poultry operation, really ethical, amazing products, but they really tend to target restaurants. So now they have all this restaurant packaged product that they can't sell.
Baggett says they make sure the farmers they partner with have the same ethics as them.
Pasture raised, no antibiotics, no drugs of any kind, animals raised outdoors.
Baggett wants to remind his current and future customers they might not always have the cut of the meat you're looking for.
We take animals into process once a week. They come back once a week, and we've been selling out very quickly. And you know, what I encourage people to do is try cuts of meat you're unfamiliar with.
Baggett wants to remind people that you don't have to buy a bunch of meat at one time. He says the average customer spends about $30 to $35 on each order. And of course, they do free delivery, and it's always contactless. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
All right, Kelsey, thank you so much. Well, an iconic business is rebounding from the pandemic starting today. Here's a live look right now from our photographer, Shay Goodpaster, out at Long's Bakery. This one's over on the west side. Long's has been closed for several weeks now, but starting today, they are serving up their famous donuts again at this location and also their south side location off Southport Road. There are some restrictions, of course, in place. This is carry out only to comply with the city's stay-at-home order. Long says they're only allowing 4 customers in at a time. You can see people are lining up, most of them spacing themselves out, as you can see, something you'll want to do if you are getting it takeout today. Raphael?
And Indy tradition is back. Be safe out there this morning. They thought they were out of hundreds of dollars, but coming up next, Call 6 Investigates gets answers for people who were taken on an emotional roller coaster ride they were not expecting. The details and much more next on Good Morning Indiana.
And FloorIsYourHome.com. That too.
The time now is 6:41. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. So hundreds of people have filed complaints with the Indiana Attorney General's office against the previous owners of Indiana Beach. This after they bought season ticket passes. And of course, as you know, Lauren, the park then closed.
Yeah, so Call 6 Investigates Kara Kenny has been digging into this, and she found out what the new ownership could mean for people who are left in the lurch.
Lisa Story has been coming to Indiana Beach since she was a little kid and now brings her own family to the Monticello amusement park.
We love the roller coasters, but Falling Star is probably our favorite.
Josh Bauscher feels the same way about Indiana Beach.
It was a cheap way for a middle-class family to have entertainment, you know, all throughout the summer for your kids. And then I was able to do that with my kids over the last couple years.
They spent hundreds of dollars on 2020 season passes, but in February, Apex Parks Groups announced it would close Indiana Beach, leaving customers like Lisa and Josh in limbo.
It kind of hit me later that I'd spent all that money and I wasn't going to be able to utilize those passes.
We talked to them in March before the COVID-19 pandemic and social distancing came about.
We contacted the attorney generals, and then we contacted you guys for help.
After Lisa reached out to Call 6 Investigates, we started digging and found more than 200 complaints filed with the Indiana Attorney General's office against Apex Parks regarding refunds for passes and campsites. Paul Wenthold and Damon Downey of West Lafayette also filed complaints with the state.
They're taking my money and not providing any service.
Why file a complaint?
For me, it's completely about the principle. You know, $120 is $120, but it's about the principle.
On April 23rd, White County officials announced Indiana Beach has a new owner, Chicago businessman Gene Staples. Call 6 Investigates did some checking and found the new owner will honor 2020 season passes. That means Lisa, Josh, Paul, Damon, and hundreds of other park goers won't need refunds after all. Their complaints remain open with the Attorney General's office, who will work to resolve their concerns with Apex. We followed up with them via phone, and they're all ecstatic the park will remain open and their passes will be honored.
This place has been open since 1926, so it's definitely a huge part of our community here.
They're looking forward to countless fun summers ahead. Kara Kenny, RTV6.
Kara, thank you so much. When Good Morning Indiana ends in about 16 minutes or so, another show begins, and we're not talking about Good Morning America. Next, an inside look at how this household here in Johnson County handles two people working from home. Todd?
And Raphael, as we go throughout the course of this month, you're going to notice the temperatures start to moderate. Obviously, we're starting the month off with an average high of 68 degrees. That's right where we are today. We end the month with an average high of 77 degrees. One thing to note, though, the month of May is the wettest month of the year on average for the city of Indianapolis, with over 5 inches of rain. And I just couldn't not put the checker flag up there on the month of May, even though things are a little different with the 500 in August. But nonetheless, that's your averages for the month of May. We'll dive into the forecast for you coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues.
Apply online today.
Welcome back. So COVID-19 and the stay-at-home orders have really changed the way that we all live. Thousands of students and their teachers are working under a new normal with those virtual classes.
And so, Lauren, as we socially distance, right, before sunrise, the Sanchez living room household is a broadcast studio. But then hours later, it turns into a classroom.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
When Good Morning Indiana is over and the lights dim in my work-from-home studio in my living room,
Rise and shine, welcome to school today. It's gonna be a great day.
the basement comes alive with Mrs. Sanchez recording her kindergarten lesson. She videotapes 4 times a week for her students in the Clark Pleasant School Corporation. Tristan and 22 other kids are on the other end.
April, cheer it. April, April, April.
Tristan is in a home where 3 other kids in separate grades are also e-learning.
It becomes a lot on just your family, and then that pressure of I have to be work at home and mom at home. And so where have I been able to split those two, go to work and I can be the teacher there and then I can be the mom at home, I'm having to do both things at once. So there are days where the schedule flies out the window.
Today's story is called Superbugs.
The online academics also include story time and then a send-off until class is back in session.
All right, let's sing our goodbye song. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
So don't expect me to sing during this newscast, but I should point out that Clark Pleasant schools are about 20 miles south of Indianapolis, and classes in the Clark Pleasant School Corporation, they will end on May the 15th, Lauren. Quite a mix here in this household.
Yeah.
News in the morning, classes in the mid-morning.
Oh, it is a busy household, and I want to be one of Mrs. Sanchez's students. She looks like she has a fun time with all those songs, Raphael.
A lot of good songs downstairs. We're going to have a good time today, though, with Todd Clausen, right? Because we're going to sing his praises.
We're going to start singing some songs about the sunshine.
I don't think I ever had a teacher sing to me. So I had Mrs. Sanchez when I was, or Mrs. Sanders when I was in kindergarten. Maybe I needed Mrs. Sanchez. So too many S's. Sanders, Sanchez. So all right, it's Friday, everybody, and we're kicking it off with clear skies here in central Indiana. I'm going to keep on track here with the weather, with what I do best. As you look off from downtown to the north, there's a little bit of cloud cover on the right-hand side of your screen. That's the clouds that are finally exiting the area. 38 in Kokomo, 44 in Bloomington, 40 in Indianapolis. We'll give you a little tour of some of your hometowns. It's 38 up in Peru, in and around the metro area. From Greenwood, where Raphael is, 38 degrees, 42 in Fishers, and 42 in Greenfield. So throughout the day today, the one thing you'll notice is the temperatures will start to moderate very, very quickly across the area. We'll be through the 40s and into the 50s by 10 a.m. We'll be into the 60s by 1 p.m. and then mid to upper 60s later on this afternoon for your high temperatures. I mentioned the clouds on the right-hand portion of the RTV6 Weather Now camera. You notice that here they are from Muncie through about the Greenfield area down towards Greensburg. These will continue to push off towards the east and be out of here. So even if you are seeing a little bit of cloud cover this morning, just be a little bit patient. You'll get rid of it, and then we have plenty of sunshine in store for you this afternoon and into the evening hours, with sunset not until 8:40. Be a good night maybe for dinner outside on the patio somewhere in your backyard, or maybe a picnic bench in a park. Temperatures will fall into the 60s once the sun starts to set, and by the time we get to about midnight, temperatures will be in the 50s. Now tomorrow is a very warm day for us. We'll have some gusty southerly winds, so there's a little bit of a flaw in the forecast with those winds, but it's helping to get us close to 80 degrees. So I think that's a trade-off most of us will take. Skies will be partly sunny tomorrow. Sunday there could be some rain earlier in the morning hours, but the day is not a washout, as by Sunday afternoon we should be into the sunshine. And you can see this rain coming in along a front early Sunday morning, and the timing and the placement of this rain may change a little bit as we get closer to Sunday. But I think the main take from this forecast on Sunday is, while you may have to alter your plans a little bit in the morning, just know as we get into the afternoon hours, we'll start to work more in the way of sunshine into the forecast. And even behind that front, it's not all that much colder. We'll go from, yes, near 80 degrees on Saturday to 70 on Sunday, but that is still above normal. We stay at 70 with sunshine in the forecast on Monday. And then another cold front comes through on Tuesday with a round of showers and maybe a few thunderstorms, followed by slightly cooler weather as we go into the middle of next week.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here's a live look at traffic for your Friday. I-65 near 38th Street on the northwest side. Everything's traveling up to speed. No crashes to report around the metro area. Well, it's time for Good News Friday coming up next. And here's some good news if you're hooked on this company's donuts. This is a live look from the west side right now. We won't glaze over the fact that Long's is open for business once again. More on that coming up next. It is 6:52 on your May 1st. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. Stick around.
Working for you.
It is that time of the week, Good News Friday, and Raphael, this is great news, especially if you're a donut fan and you love those donuts from this iconic Indiana business.
So let's take you live to the city's west side, where in my mind, at this business, everything is fat-free. Long's Bakery has been closed for several weeks, as you know, but starting today, they're serving up their famous donuts, both at their locations on the west side and the south side location on Southport Road. Of course, there are some restrictions. Long says only 4 customers will be allowed inside the stores, one at a time.
And we know, Raphael, we lost our live shot there, but there was a long line outside of Long's Bakery, so keep that social distancing in mind. Well, we know with all the bleak news about COVID-19, there are plenty of stories with happy endings. Prentice Paschal was the first COVID-19 patient at IU Health North Hospital up in Carmel. He was admitted way back on March 12th, but on Wednesday, after a 48-day stay, Paschal was sent home. And to celebrate his recovery, the hospital played "Here Comes the Sun" by the Beatles over the intercom, with the hospital team members lining the hallways to cheer him on. And that is some great news. We're glad that he is recovering. All right, some more great news is our forecast today. Todd, what can we expect?
Lots of sunshine in the forecast for us today, Lauren. That's exactly what we need after yesterday when we had the clouds and those chilly temperatures. And with that sunshine, we'll see these temperatures moderate very quickly today. 57 degrees by the noon hour. High temperatures today into the 65 to 70 degree range for most of us across the area. The weekend's looking pretty good. Saturday, breezy but warm, a high near 80 with sunshine. Some rain early Sunday morning, but the day is not a washout with a high temperature. That'll be right around 70 degrees.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. We're back here in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with your local news, weather, and of course your traffic updates. All your news throughout the day can be found right on the RTV6 mobile app. Thanks for watching Good Morning Indiana. We hope you enjoy the weather this Friday. Stay safe out there.